Hi, this is Sean with Alexander Tutoring, and welcome to the Relativity Lectures Day 3. As a reminder, I need you guys to participate, so please email me your questions. They're an important part of the process. So as a quick recap, day 1 I asked you, what is a second? We had some great answers there. And on day 2, I asked you how you would measure it, a second. And my friend Scott brought up a really interesting point, which was kind of the point, and that is it's really hard to say how you're going to measure a second without bringing in the word time into your answer. So for example, the classic way we would measure a second is with our wall clock. So we can think about the second hand, which takes 60 seconds to make a full rotation, right? So one thing we could say is, okay, we have this rotating thing rotating at a certain rate, and it's the amount of time it takes to make 1/60th of a rotation. So you can see how I had to loop the word time back in. Um, so in order for it to work, for us to correctly measure a second and agree upon it, we need to define the rate of rotation of that hand, right? And so what I want you to notice is that in measuring a time interval, we have to define a certain motion. In this case, a rotating object rotating at a certain rate. If I had my second hand moving at one rate and you had your second hand moving at a different rate, we wouldn't agree on what a second is. So we first have to agree upon a motion, which is the rate of rotation of the hand. Now it doesn't have to be that, it's just convenient, right? Could we measure time with something moving linearly? Sure, right? If we just did seconds down the number line and had something going down the number line at a certain rate, then we could find it that way. It's not convenient because obviously it's going to run out of space, so it makes more sense to go in a circle. But my point is that would work as well. So what I want you to notice is that in order to define a time interval, you have to first define a motion interval. And what we're going to start to realize is that all we can really do is compare motions, okay? So that's what we're going to be diving into next. We're going to get a little more hardcore with the math in future lessons. So what I want to leave you with today, and what I want you to answer in your emails before we move on to the next section, is how do we all agree to show up to class or anything at the same time? So let's pretend it's not COVID world and we show up to our classroom at 8 a.m. in the morning. How do we all know and agree and end up showing up at that location at the same time, right? Obviously, we're all keeping track at our own rate. So how is it that we know that to show up at the location of our class, a position in space, at the correct time, or we all agree on 8 o'clock? So how do we all know to show up at the same place at the same time? Just think about that for me, and then we're going to dive in deep starting tomorrow. So thanks for participating. Can't wait to see your answers. Thank you. Bye.